This is Ron Higgins, columnist for TigerDetails.com. Yes, I was traded over the weekend for a columnist to be named later, but I am the columnist for TigerDetails.com. I'm glad to be back with them. And I was glad to be here tonight to witness LSU's final non-conference men's basketball game. Kind of another typical LSU non-conference beatdown they've had against most of these opponents. The number 16 Tigers routed Lipscomb 95-60. Lipscomb, by the way, is a school in Nashville, Will Wade's hometown. Earlier this year, he already beat Belmont, another Nashville-based team. He's basically scheduling all the teams he grew up with watching in Nashville, and now he's beating them all. Tonight, LSU 95-60. The difference, tonight's big deal was this was the first game they've had one of their top eight players miss because of an injury. And of course, it was big news because that player, it was Tari Eason, their sophomore forward, transfer from Cincinnati, who is leading the team in scoring, has been tremendous. His average like 22 points per game in comeback wins over Georgia Tech and Louisiana Tech. Has been LSU's probably their best player so far this year consistently, and he comes off the bench. Well, apparently he had back spasms and could not play tonight. He was limited in practice the past few days. I thought he might be able to go tonight. He didn't go. And LSU had to find a way to win without him. And LSU got off to this great start. I think it was 18-9 the first media timeout, 18-7, something like that. LSU scored their scored 10 points off of four Lipscomb turnovers before the first media timeout. Then they kind of got stuck. Now, what happens usually right after a media timeout and with this team is that Will Wade inserts his three subs, Tari Eason, Eric Gaines at guard, and Alex Fudge a small forward. And usually together they just spark, but Eason in particular kind of gives us this jolt of energy that really helps this team, and they build nice leads. Well, tonight they didn't have him. This was something new for them, and they kind of struggled for a while in the first half until closing on a run late in the first half. The second half they played okay. Will Wade was very displeased. They gave up 10 turnovers in the second half, 14 for the game. Made a good point, honestly. I know he said basically, everybody's excited over this team. They're 12-0, and they're putting up big numbers. But if they play sloppy like they did in the second half tonight, they will go to Auburn and just get they'll get beat. What Will talked about, besides Xavier Pinson, who played most of his career at Missouri, and of course Darius Days, who had 21 tonight. His 3-point shot came back through hard work. But I'll tell you what I also think what it is. Through all that, the Tigers didn't play. They don't have enough experience on the road in SEC road games, real road games, besides Pinson and Days. And when I say real road games, they have some sophomores back from last year, Mwani Wilkinson and Gaines. But as Will pointed out, they played in the COVID SEC, which was empty arenas and cutouts in the stands of people watching the game, hardly anybody there. Not the same thing as what they'll face next Saturday. Well, it's going to be next Wednesday. I'm sorry. It'll be loud, obnoxious. Auburn students are right on top of you. It's he wants them to be prepared for that and to play what they did tonight in the second half. Kind of sloppy. Got sloppy with the ball. He didn't like it, and basically he let them know after the game. And probably one of the secrets of the LSU team is there's no let up in Will Wade. He's got his foot on the gas pedal all the time with this team. And as he said, we haven't had he said the team was underachieving because all 8 players haven't played to their full potential yet. And when they get there, then they'll play, be a great team. But right now, he says they're underachieving. Well, I guess the LSU is one of the 5 teams left in Division I that's undefeated. That's underachieving. I guess it's underachieving. He's the head coach. Back to Darius Days. He really worked hard in the past few days. He's been working hard on his shot. And he just said he put a lot of hard work in. But one thing that we kind of noticed tonight, I think he was 5 of 8 on threes. So he missed three threes. Kind of a basic, simple, fundamental thing that he may have noticed on film that he didn't tell us. But what I noticed was when he went straight up on his jump shot, he made shots. And when he kind of went sideways or fell back, he missed shots. It's a basic fundamental basketball principle of shooting. You're going to miss shots if you don't go up straight most of the time. And then when he went up straight and shot, he made shots. And when he didn't, he didn't. It's a very simple principle that a lot of shooters kind of get into this slump when they start falling back on their shot. I mean, and of course, it doesn't apply to all shooters. It makes no sense. Like tonight, Xavier Pinson, he hit some step back threes. I guess we figured out it's because when you step back, you kind of put more power into it to get the shot up. But a lot of times when Xavier shoots steps into threes, he leaves them short. I guess because he wants some more touch. But again, it's different for different shooters. But most of the time, if you go straight up on his shot, you're going to make the shot. I think Darius has kind of figured that out. And hopefully his three-point shot will stay on like it was tonight, because LSU is going to need everything going to conference play. They've got a killer schedule in January. Play the league's best teams. Play Tennessee twice. They play Kentucky. They play Alabama. It's just ridiculous. If they survive January fairly well, they're going to be in good shape. Should be in February if they're not hurt and banged up or underestimating anybody. So anyway, this team so far has been fun to watch. It's been a pleasure to watch. But the good stuff starts now. It starts next Wednesday at Auburn with the Auburn Tigers and Bruce Pearl and his bunch. So we will, the next home game here is January 4th against Kentucky. It's Dale Brown night, where they're of course, revealing Dale Brown Court, named in honor of LSU's greatest basketball coach for 25 years, changed his program. Again, that'll be January 4th against Kentucky. And when Kentucky always comes to town, it's always a huge game. Kentucky, I think right now is number 20 in the nation. Beat Western Kentucky today in kind of a game thrown together after Louisville canceled because of COVID. Kentucky is better than last year. They had an off year last year, but they're pretty good. And when LSU Kentucky get together, it's always special. And I guarantee this place will be full, but probably their biggest crowd this season, because Kentucky fans generally buy away tickets. I don't know if you know this or not. Kentucky fans, at least in the past, but now they probably can, but in the past, it was always hard for them to get tickets to home games. And so what they would do is they would really buy season ticket packages to away games in the SEC. I mean, they would, like I said, they'd buy an LSU season ticket package just to go to the LSU game. Then you think about the other one, but it was still cheaper to buy an LSU ticket against Kentucky here than it was to try to get a Kentucky ticket at home. It might be easier to get a Kentucky ticket now after last year, but that's what they used to do in the past. It's kind of a strange phenomenon in the SEC fandom, but that's what Kentucky fans used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but I guarantee they'll be here to support their Big Blue. This place will be packed. The Tigers will be rocking. And whether they'll be coming off a win over Auburn or lost Auburn, we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting, and I'll be here for that. I'll see you after that game on January 4th. Again, this is Ron Higgins with TigerDetails.com, wishing you good night.